This might be a little shorter show because of some type of technical difficulties, but it will be long enough for me to speak on my topic. And my topic is, and I changed the name on many times because the first one was, Black Lives Matter, Black life should matter less, or Black life should not matter as much. But I think what speaks on it better is Black life, why Black life can't matter as much might be a better topic, but I don't want to just play with the titles. So me going in on it would do better justice to the point that I'm trying to make. And what that is that the problem is that Black life matters too much. That's why we're in the condition that we're in, and specifically to Black people. Our fear of the police is because our own personal life matters too much. So we're in fear. We're in fear of death. So our life is so valuable that we are terrified at those who would be willing to give their life in order to maintain or perpetuate white supremacy. These race soldiers are willing to give their life and sacrifice their life to maintain the infrastructure and to perpetuate the reality of white supremacy, and we fear losing our life to that capacity. But our life should not matter as much, because if you go back and you listen to some of our revolutionaries, Stokely Carmichael, better known as Kwame Ture, he said there's never been any change, any real change or significant change for Black people without the shedding of blood. We had to shed blood to get into any particular position that we wanted to get into, whether that was to drink on faucets with white people or use the washroom with white people or go into their restaurants. We had to protest. There was a shedding of blood for this to happen. There was a sacrifice for us to get to the levels that we have obtained within general society. Today, our life matters so much that we're unwilling to make any sacrifices for the liberation and the upliftment of our people. When you look at the very word devotion means sacrifice. To devote yourself is literally to sacrifice yourself to a greater cause or to something that you realize is greater than you. But our Black life matters too much that we can hear about our brother and our sister getting shot down, getting murdered in the middle of the street by the police, by the institutions of white supremacy. Our personal life matters so much that we will not do anything about it because we wouldn't want to disturb our life. Our life is so important. Our individualistic Black life is so important that we're not willing to make any sacrifice, whether it's the shedding of our own blood or just a sacrifice of our engagement and our participation in the white supremacy matrix. We're unwilling to sacrifice that for the upliftment of our race and of our people. Our Black life matters too much. And our Black life is a life of consumerism, a life of perpetuating white supremacy, involving in it, validating it, and existing within that paradigm. That's what Black life is. If we are not free as a people, if we're not totally liberated, if we can't secure and manifest our own justice, then what Black life is being a prison in their institutional world, in their reality. So we must be willing to sacrifice that Black life. That Black life must not matter anymore if we won't change. The Black life that we've been living can't matter anymore. We have to let that Black life go. We have to let that old paradigm, that old reality, and that old matrix go. That Black life cannot matter anymore because that Black life has us locked into a world that makes us desensitized, that make us non-empathetic, non-sympathetic, no compassion for the totality of our people. Now, the show topic wasn't Black lives don't matter. It was Black life should not matter so much. Black life can't matter because in order for Black lives to matter, then Black life must be sacrificed. We must give up Black life living in this illusion of this matrix of white supremacy that has to be sacrificed for the betterment of the whole. If you want Black lives to matter, then Black life in the matrix can't matter anymore because everything we do and how we participate in his reality continues to substantiate and perpetuate that reality in that matrix. We're contributing our energy, our time, and our labor and resources to it. And then when it's time that our brothers and sisters need us, that our nation and our community need us, we are unavailable. Because the black life that we have invented, the artificial black life that we are living within the matrix, has more value, is more important and more significant than us. It's what separates us and makes us something that we feel is distinctive from the masses of our people. So that black life cannot matter so much. That black life must be sacrificed. That black life must be shared. You cannot be free until you give up your life in the plantation, until you give up your life in the prison, until you give up your life in the matrix, and the character and the narrative along with that life, and the story that goes along with that life, and all the justifications that go along with that life that makes you less than a warrior for your people, that makes you less than a liberation fighter for your people. That black life must die. Black life as we know it in America, under white supremacy, it must die. It must end. It must come to an end. And we must have a new life and take on a new life that represents our liberation and our freedom, our independence and our sovereignty and our power and our supremacy. That must be the new life that must begin once we share the old life. Now, when I say your black life can't matter so much to some people, that sounds, suicidal. It sounds like some kamikaze stuff or a kamikaze matrix, a kamikaze message. But no, there are many levels of sacrifice, of giving up a life that no longer benefits you, a life that makes you prey of your enemy, a life that makes you vulnerable, a life that makes you exploitable, a life that allows you to get picked off. You must give up that life, give up that type of concern, give up that type of identification. Let that go. I'll just give you an example. With the so-called feminist movement, it came with a strategy to separate the black man from the black woman by letting the black woman, putting in her perspective, a victim-conscious narrative that makes her think that her life as a woman is more important than the significance of the lives of the entire race, and that she should separate herself from the struggle of the black family and of the black nation, of the black community, for her individual identity as a female, that her black life as a woman, a part of the feminist movement, a part of the LGBTQ movement, or whatever movement, that her life is more important than the nation, than the community as a whole. This is a fact. Our celebrities feel that their black life matters more than the life of the entire community, more than the life of our entire nation. Our black billionaires and black millionaires and our black psychologists and scholars and businessmen and talented and skilled people and craft people and tailors and carpenters, all of these black lives, the life that they're living, that black life is more important than the freedom and the liberation of black people, where we're not willing to lay down our lives. We're not willing to sacrifice mentally, spiritually, physically, and economically for the freedom and liberation of our people. We won't let go of these lives that we are living that are not to our benefit, that are not for the benefit of our race. We still have goals and objectives in trying to be somebody in a white man's matrix. We want to be somebody in Babylon. We want to be somebody in the white man's illusionary world. And we don't want to let that life go. And as long as that life continues, we as a people will continue to be in a situation that we are in under white supremacy, because that life, that very life that you find valuable, that would make you go beg your oppressor to be recognized, to be seen, to be validated, to be loved, and to have justice, that very life can't matter anymore. The very life must end. The very lifestyle must end. The very point of view, point of vantage point, that point of existence must no longer exist. It must go out of existence. It must no longer live. It must no longer be. So black life has to matter less, because your individual life is so important that it's made you a coward to this enemy, that you're so scared that you're going to lose your black life, that you will not stand up for the masses of your black people to demand freedom and liberation by any means necessary. But you see a lot of our political prisoners,
You see Jamil Al-Amin, Mumia Abu Jamal. You see a lot of our political prisoners that are behind bars, that sacrifice. Their black life did not matter because now their life is behind bars for several life sentences. But their life was sacrificed for the well-being, for the awakening, for the consciousness of the masses of black people. But will those same black people realize and put their life on the line, put their life on the table, and devote themselves to the liberation of black people as a whole? Are they willing to do what is necessary? See, black life matters too much. That's our problem. That's why we won't help each other, because our life matters too much. Our life is so much more important. That's why we don't want to give. We don't want to contribute. We don't want to even be associated with the pain and the agony and the travesty that our people is going through. We don't even want to be associated with it because our black life matters so much. That's why we can fall victim of propaganda with this COVID-19, walking around wearing a mask to separate ourselves from our own people, where we can't even talk because our black life matters so much that we fear death. And, you know, when you fear death, you can easily be manipulated. You can easily be terrorized because you don't want all that matters to you to end so abruptly or to be taken to you, because black life matters too much. It has made you a coward. But your enemy's life don't matter. Your enemy's life don't matter to them. They say all lives matter, but they don't mean that, because they're willing to lay down their life for white supremacy. They want to put on a uniform, a badge, a BDU, a military uniform, a Marine Corps outfit, a CIA outfit, a FBI outfit. They're willing to put on these clothes and literally lay down their life for their beliefs, their ideology, to continue to perpetuate the global system of white supremacy and imperialism. But when it comes to black nationalism, black supremacists, black power, black militants, our black life matters too much within a false artificial reality. The life that they have given us after they so-called gave us the illusion of freedom. They've given us a life that only exists within inside of the context of their reality. That's just a straw man. That's just a social security number. That's just a stock certificate. Our life is only relevant within their reality. Our life has been created. It has been manufactured and edited and already authored and already put together, and now that's the life that we live in, and that story does not add up to our empowerment, our freedom, and our liberation. The life that they gave us, the value systems, the things we should be worried about and concerned about, and where we should go to get answers and solve our problems, and a particular set of problems that we are supposed to have has all been given to us, and that black life can't matter no more. That black life is keeping us within the circumstance and the dynamic that we're constantly living in. That black life can continue to matter. When black life matters less, truly, when black individualism matters less, then black lives will matter more. We don't want to give up anything because our desire for freedom and liberation, our desire for justice is out of our fear of losing our own life. We don't care about nobody else. We're just afraid that the police are going to take our life. We don't have genuine, authentic, pure, selfless compassion for no other beings on this planet. Our total concern is about our own black life. Are we going to continue to be able to go to Walmart tomorrow? Are we going to continue to be able to go to the hotels tomorrow? Are we going to be able to continue to go to the festivals and buy music? Are we going to be able to go to the car lot next week? Are we going to be able to spend this money here and money there and go there and consume this and buy this and do this and fit into their artificial reality? See, that's the life that we're worried about losing, not the melanated life, not the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors re-embodied and reincarnated and remanifested eternally. See, that's not the life we are concerned about. We're concerned about an artificial life that's given to us, that we work, for our master's plantation from 9 to 5 and get checked and taxed. That's the life that we fear losing because, we want to live in this world equal to our enemy. We want to live in a world that's validated by our enemy, by our oppressor. We want to be rewarded within that world, and we want to feel like we're somebody within that world, even if it means that our people must be sacrificed and the masses of our people must die while we try to live it up in an individual artificial illusion that has been created by our enemy. See, that black life can't matter anymore. That black life matters too much. In order for black lives to matter, black life has to matter less because, see, Malcolm X's black life didn't matter. He gave it up for the freedom and liberation of black people. Dr. Martin Luther King's life did not matter. Fred Hampton's life did not matter. I can go on and on. Patrice Lumumba's life did not matter. I can continue to go on. Their life did not matter. Black lives matter, but their life did not matter. Because if it would give them freedom or give them death, give them liberation for their people or give them death. See, our life matters too much, so much, that we're perpetuating a life of hell. We're perpetuating a life of imprisonment, a life of degradation, a life of living on the bottom, a life of bottom feeding, a life of being under your oppressor. See, we're perpetuating that life. And that's what we fear losing. We fear shining another shoe. We feel shucking, jiving again, cooning and buffooning for our master. We fear that we're going to lose that. And that's why we stay in this condition. But when our lives begin to matter less, when our life, not lives, but when our life begins to matter less than the enemy that's willing to sacrifice his in order to destroy you and your people and your community and keep himself on top, when our life matters less than his to our own selves, then we will throw his ass up off of us. And the generations after us and the generations to come will be free. They will be liberated. We'll put this devil in his place within 24 hours when our life in his artificial reality doesn't matter anymore. When our life under him doesn't matter. When our life eating the scraps off his table doesn't matter anymore. Then we'll stand up. Then we will be fearless. And then we will accept that eternal life. We'll step up into the great life of our legacy, of our legendary and glory, our glorious reality. Then we'll step up into that life that is in alignment with the ancestors. That life is in alignment with royalty. That life is in alignment with dignity. Then we will step up into that life, and we will rise up in that light. And that life will matter. That black life will matter. The black life that where we stood up, that we realize who we really are. The black life that is the wrath of all of our ancestors. When that black life stands up, then this devil got something on his hands. See, if your life matters too much, you are a coward. If your life matters too much within his artificial reality, you don't stand for nothing. They say a man that stands for nothing falls for everything, and a man that stands for something is also equally willing to die for something. So his life don't matter for that which he's willing to die for. See, black lives matter. Black life matters too much. They can't both exist. Black lives and black life can't exist simultaneously. One of them got to go. If you want black lives to matter, we're going to have to be willing to sacrifice some black life within this artificial matrix reality. Talk black to me. Black life has to matter less. Black life is about individualism, independence, selfishness, self, personal problems, internal matrix, internal conflict, personal situations and circumstances, personal identity. I can go into ego. I can go deep into that. Merging your ego into the collective consciousness by willing to sacrifice your black life and living in the eternal black lives of the ancestors, the eternal black lives of the eternal black collective consciousness. I hope y'all feeling where I'm coming from. They're telling me I got about 30 minutes in this stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the calls for a second to allow you all to comment or speak your piece before this show ends. I said what I had to say. That was the totality. That was the gist of what I want to say. Our black life matters so much that we can go against another black person so quick. We can hate another black person for so many reasons. We can find a context to be at odds with another black person. Simply the fact that our black life matters that much that it has put us against one another, where we cannot unify, and our black lives matter because the enemy plays into your individualism, builds up your individualism, and use it against you, use it as a weapon against you.
202-492, make it plain. You live.
Hey, I'm just listening.
Black supremacy. 404, you live. 857.
How can you know black supremacy? You're right. As usual. You know what I'm saying? They have it to where, it's just individuality all the time, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with with being famous and just moving on up like the Jeffersons, like they're moving out the hood when they see we're all, check the hood. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they promote that on TV to be individual, you know what I'm saying? With the TV stars being a star and stuff, not saying that we're all stars, but one black person is a star. No, we're all stars. They make it give you more money how individual you become. You know what I'm saying? How much you become a coon or how much you hate your own people. You become better than your own people. And it's like your life
and
really doesn't matter.
Black
all
life,
of our life doesn't matter.
Come on, take your time. And so they made a black life that they gave you matter more than the totality of black lives.
Because they played against it. People don't know how valuable their black life is. So it's like they know how valuable our black life is, and they take advantage of it.
Come on, you teaching, and I'm glad you mentioned that with the whole Bill Cosby situation, because his whole thing was his Black Lives Matter. He was a doctor and on the show, and he was somebody in real life. But if black people are under attack, your black life does not matter. So if you're under illusion that your black life matters, then you're not, you sleep.
Right, and that's what he was realizing when he got.
Go ahead.
I said that's what he was realizing when they put him in jail, that his life by itself did not matter, but a group of us would matter, versus his individual self.
Absolutely. Then they start talking about racism and this, that, and the other. Why he ain't been talking about that? Start talking about discrimination and all that, because he realized that his black life didn't matter as they thought. He thought his black life mattered as far as his income, his status, his fame. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, his hair texture. The way his voice sound, his talent. He thought all that was so important that he could overlook or separate himself from the totality of black people.
Right. They start feeding the ego. The ego gets fed, and they forget who they are and where they came from. And then that's where they get the avatar, and they get they become their own avatar.
So it's like if something happens to black people, and we don't go as hard as for those individuals as we would go for our own selves, that means our black life matters too much.
Right.
Because the black lives should trump our black life in this world. Because the white man will say, use a good Negro, use a smart Negro. You all right, don't worry. We're going to lynch all them. You good.
Right.
You just go on in your house and, enjoy yourself. Use one of us. Use a Mason. Use this. Use one. You one with us. So you thinking your black life matters to the point that you don't even identify, or you're not even willing to sacrifice for the masses of black people.
Right.
And you're going to get a rude awakening when they pick your number.
Get people though. Right.
And a lot of these black people thought that they black life matters, and somehow that they was different from all black people. They didn't think that all black lives mattered. They just thought that they were special in white supremacy.
Ain't nothing special about one person. Now, a group of us, that's different. But standing alone, you ain't going to get nowhere standing alone. You're not going to get nowhere standing alone. It needs a group of us.
And when the police pull up on somebody, they pulling up on black women like this. They pulling up on everybody like this. They thinking of, damn, don't hurt me. I'm 7 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? I weigh 400, 500 pounds. And my first thought is, oh, my God, don't hurt me. Not what
Right.
what would this do to the race unchecked? What would happen to innocent people? What would happen to defenseless people? We so
Right.
concerned about our black life that if we gonna get to wear Gucci again, are we gonna get to wear Louis Vuitton again? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna get to sit up in the barbershop again? Are we gonna sit on the beach again? We so worried about our black life in the matrix under oppression and imperialism that we're not willing to make any sacrifices for the masses of our people.
Right, and that's what it's gonna take, some sacrifices, and that's what people don't. That's what people are afraid of. They don't want to sacrifice their home. They don't want to give up what they got. They don't want to give up. You know, they don't want to sacrifice none of that. They're too comfortable.
Right,
They're way
and that's
too
why we
comfortable.
always say you have to give up the matrix.
Yeah.
Because as long as your black life matters in the matrix is going to keep going. And you're not going to be able to go against it. You're not going to be able to destroy it as long as your black life matters inside of that. So we can stop saying black lives matter. The first step to black lives mattering is making your black life in the matrix not matter so much, so that you can totally be a contributing force to overthrowing white supremacy, overthrowing white imperialism, overthrowing police and government domination within our communities and within our societies. But as long as your life matters within that construct, within that paradigm, how can you be against it? You can't go against yourself.
That's where the nothingness comes in. They become.
Come on.
To become nothing is to become all.
We sided with them.
Right.
Through the lifestyle of our choice, we've sided with the enemy through the very life that we live. The enemy is maintaining your world and literally maintaining your reality. How can you be free of him? I don't understand. How can you be free of white supremacy if your reality is integrated with it?
Right.
At some point, you got to sacrifice some aspect of it to move into a new reality, into a new paradigm. And your black life, that's why we used to always say in the old videos, kill your goddamn self. We talking about killing yourself in the matrix.
Right.
We're talking about killing the matrix version of you that is being exploited and capitalized on by white supremacy.
Right. The acceptance that's of you in the matrix. Kill that you accept in the matrix.
You teaching.
Because in order to kill the outside matrix, you have to kill the inside matrix and how you feel about it and how you think about it, how you accept it. Because the only way that it can control you is if you accept it. You have to stop accepting it and let go.
I'm seeing the police people stopped in traffic lights, and they're afraid. They're actually afraid of the police. Like, they're really saying, I can't breathe, hands up. They literally are afraid of the police. When you live in that level of fear, your black life matters too much.
Right.
If you're afraid to stand, if you're willing to sacrifice your life for what's right, what you believe in, you don't fear nobody, man. You don't fear no police or nothing. You don't fear anyone. So how we living now has produced fear. We fear we're going to lose what the enemy gave us fighting the enemy. That don't even make any sense.
Not at all. You should want to lose.
That's the main thing. When somebody get pulled over, we're going to lose the false sense of freedom he gave us in the process of trying to attain real freedom.
Right.
We so busy. We are attached to the false sense of freedom. Oh, the mall going to be open. Oh, they opening up the park. Oh, everything that they allow you to do in the circus. You don't want to lose that. You ain't about to mess your hair up and mess your situation up trying to help no nigga, not knowing you next.
Right. Right, playing around. Right, trying to be cute and stuff and flex for the Instagram, not knowing you next. We trying to tell you something to wake you up, but you sitting over there flexing like you individual, like you your own person. Yeah, okay. You keep on playing if you want to.
Teach.
But yeah, folks, they gonna wake up.
They black life matters too much. They black life matters too much. They Instagram life, everything the enemy gave them matters so much. Don't realize that's not you.
Right. It's just it's an illusion.
Come on. That's only maintained by capitalism. If they close the store, most of these people's identity is closed. If they close down the store,
right?
They close the stores, the barbershop.
Right.
Most people's identity is dead.
Right. They was hollering and screaming talking when the nail shop, when the hair shop don't open up. They was going crazy those little funky ass weeks.
Yeah. Right.
Like they couldn't take it. Like, Lord, like, come on, just show your real hair. You know?
You teaching.
Right, yeah. You know, it's sad because it's like they don't understand, like, until all this shit is going to go away. Do you understand? Black supremacy and the motherfucking world blow up. Not until white people get off this planet. We blowing up all this shit. We blowing up them. We blowing up their goddamn buildings. We blowing up their matrix. We blowing up every goddamn thing. So don't think because white men get off this planet that you're going to go back to doing the fuck you doing. No, this is black rulership. Everything about to motherfucking change. Everything. And if you ain't trying to change, you just best get out the way because that means you part of the white man. There ain't nothing on this planet going to be living by the means of this white man. But they got to rule the awakening. They got to rule the awakening. They going to keep on playing. So it's like, all these famous people talk about they're trying to, give their voice now and stuff, but it's like how you giving a voice, but then you turn around and tell us to vote. The whole system is corrupt, but you turn around and tell us to vote, and y'all famous. Y'all got money. Y'all see police brutality. It wasn't enough.
You're right. Them saying your vote matter is another way of saying your black life matters. Like your vote is so important. Right. Because you're voting against other black people. Voting puts you at odds against Republicans and Democrats. But when you're a black nationalist, you're not against no black people. You're not voting against anybody black.
Right.
So voting is individualism. But we suffer as a people.
Right.
So our vote divides us. We're divided trying to vote for this person and that person. But we're all in the same boat no matter who gets in office. So your vote doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't say anything for black people.
It don't do nothing for us except for continue. It's like Monopoly. Keep on playing against their system. We have to destroy. We have to have our own government.
You teaching, but it makes them feel like I'm a human being. I have a vote. I'm somebody, and it makes my vote counts. Now, see, you think your black life matters inside of their world,
right? There.
Yeah, Joe Biden wants your vote, but your vote ain't gonna do nothing for Sandra Bland. Your vote is not gonna do anything for Mike Brown.
Right, come on.
So your vote doesn't matter. Your vote really doesn't matter. You don't matter in that sense. But where we're trying to matter there is what separates us and makes us afraid to really show up for our people, to really show up where it matters, where it's important.
Right. It's like on in the old time. Right. Right. It's like when the old time the slave used to, get whooped and stuff, and then the slave master had to spend all day long telling the slave how much he mattered in order to help him clean it and do what he needed to do for the house and not rebel against the slave master. He had to continue to keep telling that slave how much he mattered.
Are you serious?
He'd get a whooping and rebel. But he had to keep telling that slave how much he mattered. And it'd be that one slave boy. It'd be that one slave that'd be like, okay, I guess I do matter, and make an example for all.
That's a fact.
But yeah. Yeah.
More people
our life
get
does not
involved,
matter.
but they're saying, the more people will get involved and really step up if they didn't feel like their life matters so much, that their personal situation matters so much. Whatever narrative is there. I can't get involved in that. My life matters. So us saying our life matters, that's not nothing new for African Americans. That's all we saying. That's why we willing to kill another nigga over 50 cents because our life matter. You cross me and my life matters. Nigga, I'm going to kill you. You follow?
Right.
All our hatred and animosity that we have against each other is because our life matters so much. that we willing to constantly kill, be against each other. And we say, you know what, get out of our ego and say, you know, my life really, it don't matter that much. The bigger picture is the overall liberation of our people and the mass awakening of our people is more important than me as an individual. Then we can make some progress.
Right.
Then we can, because we can't have unity if we are trapped in individualism. So let's stop talking about black unity.
Right.
If you so extreme individualist, they say all we need together, we need to unify and come together if we're gonna make change. But you're not gonna be able to unify as an extreme as individualist. All of
not
these
at all.
white supremacist institutions exploit black extreme individualism. Every single one of them. If it's Planned Parenthood, it's extreme individualism. You don't want to have this baby. You shouldn't have this baby. What about you? What about you? What about you? Extreme individualism.
Right.
The whole feminist movement. You know, don't work with your man and leave your family. It's about you. It's about you. It's about you. It's about extreme individualism. Destroy the black family.
Right.
LGBTQ. It's not about your children, your offspring, your community. It's about you, the individual. What are you? You. Even with the man, you're a transgender. It's about you, who you want to be. All of it is dealing with exploitation of extreme individualism.
Right.
If we truly sacrificed ourselves and that black life didn't matter, all of those ideas will dissolve because we care about black lives more than we concerned about a black life in this reality. Because it's going to take black lives to change black life.
Right.
Not just one individual. It's going to take all of us
right.
to change it. So if we've only focused on it from an individualistic perspective, it's not going to change.
Right.
We're just finding a groove in it. We just a spoke in the wheel of white supremacy that's dyed black.
Right. The individual. You know.
That's a fact.
But yeah, we have to move as a group, but it has to be on one accord. We have to have one thinking. You know what I'm saying? It can't be all individual thinking in the group. You know what I'm saying? It has to be one accord of thinking. You know, if they want to go for one for that, but yeah, it'll be one thinking. It can't be just a group of us with all different thoughts. We have to be moving militant and thinking as one.
That's a fact. Now, we know that, you know, certain people got killed, George Floyd, but why would that same black person, do they identify with George Floyd every day? Like, do they really look at, or is his relevance only because he got killed by the police? Would they have seen George Floyd walking down the street and think, oh, you know, yeah, I'm George Floyd? Does he have to have a knee in his neck and get murdered by the police to have relevance? To have relevance,
right.
For people to have compassion? Is that genuine? Did George Floyd have a knee in his neck just actually bring about their fear of their own mortality, or do they actually really care about black people? Are we seeing the fear of people? Are we seeing people's fear of their mortality, or are we seeing their genuine care and compassion for the black race?
I think that people are more so afraid because they haven't been stepping up, and it's like, or even saying anything, you know what I'm saying, or even just helping, and all they want to do is stand around and record. They just want to say, so it's like, oh my God, this might happen to me, this might happen to my child, I need to say something, you know what I'm saying, because it's
right.
Like, it's happening, but it's like, I haven't been saying anything, I've been seeing it, and I've been just trying to put it beside me and put it behind me, so it's like, I need to say something now, this is getting serious. I mean, it's like, damn, about time, you getting scared now? Like, how much closer in your house do it have to be? It's already at your door. Do it need to come in your house, too?
And the people who have been talking about this stuff before that incident, you know, talking about what this devil is doing, our life has not mattered.
Right.
We just race baiting. We talking that black stuff. So our life didn't even matter. We have been discriminated on by black people. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Our own has come against us. Our black life didn't matter. And now it took a situation like this. They're saying the same thing we're saying. We've been telling them. Are they gonna go back and apologize and say, "Damn, you know, y'all was right. Damn, why we just play y'all like that? Like y'all crazy. Y'all got mental illnesses. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just talking that black stuff. What's wrong with you?" Are they gonna apologize now, or do they Black Lives Matter now? And it's so much that they can't humble themselves to those who have suffered to put this message out, suffered to bring the society to this particular realization.
Right.
So we have been
like
attacked and defamed and, you know what I'm saying, criticized and judged and, you know what I'm saying, for the circumstances that's created by sacrificing to awaken the masses of people. These circumstances of the black supremacists have been created by our devotion to awaken the masses of black people to who they are. So they've been saying our black lives do not matter. Our black lives has not mattered.
Right. Fact.
And they still saying it. And they still saying it. And they want you to think that, you know, they've changed. You know, somehow. But you haven't changed until you recognize black people, not begging white people, until you recognize your black leaders, until you recognize your black people who put it in for you. Then you change. Now you're showing us that you're waking up. But if you still talking about I can't breathe and begging a white man to love you, that you ain't really awakened up. You ain't really woke up.
No.
You should treat the people who have been trying to awaken you better, with more respect and more regards now. You should say, oh, I see now. Y'all was on this all the time. This was y'all was building on. Wow. Okay, we need to support y'all. Y'all was trying to warn us, but no. What do you say? Master, please accept us. Master, please love us. Master, we are human. Please, my life matters, man. I just want to go to work like everybody else. I just want to be under white supremacy like everybody else. I just want to, you know, I just want to be in the matrix like every other sheep or white person.
Yep. No, you're right. They did. It's like they run scared now. They run scared. They wasn't lying all this time. They ain't crazy. So I either got to join their team or become more of a bitch. And some of them is becoming more bitches. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they tail is between their now. You know what I'm saying? They still don't want to submit to the black God on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Their egos is so much. It's like they haven't killed that matrix inside their mind, so they're never going to submit.
Their black life matters too much to acknowledge anything higher than them, anything that can awaken them. They black life matters too much. They too damn important, and they steal that. Even through all this, the Europeans showing themselves. You know, we dealing with an American. You know, I don't even want to say race war. We headed towards literally a Holocaust, and they still is not saying, "Oh, y'all, we need to get with y'all. We really need to." You know, what they should be coming to us. What we gonna do? How we gonna do this? No, they not. They still begging after. What if the Jews begged Hitler to get out of a concentration camp?
Right.
How you gonna beg the white man to let you out of a concentration camp?
You're supposed to be taking your freedom, not begging for it.
Exactly.
You have 400 years ago. 400 years, and you still want to do the same results that ain't got us nowhere. We've been begging for 400 years. Now it's time to start taking some stuff.
You teaching?
No, but again, they scared. They don't want to be taking nothing. They don't want to, they still want to ask for permission. And those are the ones that's going to die with their slave masters. You're going to die in that burning house. You're going to be the same trying to save your master and going to get caught up in that burning house, and so be it.
So I want to see that now, you know. Their black life has to matter less, and everything they saw on television that individualize them, you know, all the music that you listen to, everything that make you feel like you something in this matrix that's so much and more important than the freedom and liberation of your people. You gotta let that go, man. If you really want change, you have to let that go. You have to let all that go.
Right.
Because that's you can't be entertained by your enslavement and be on the path of freedom at the same time. You can't entertain your slavery.
Divine order.
On the path of freedom.
Right.
You know, you got to let that go, and that's what we have been bringing. They say they're looking for answers. They don't want answers. They want the European to love them, to hug them, to stop being mean to me. Stop being mean to me.
Right. Why are you bothering me?
That's all.
Leave me alone. Oh, you
Let
see,
me
I'm
be
trying to have a
enslaved
good
in peace.
with my
Let me say, fuck these woke niggas on my own. Leave me alone so I can continue to say, fuck these woke niggas. You feel me?
right. Boy, they so scared. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to submit.
They begging Master to get out their way. You know what I'm saying? Because he blocking them from shooting another nigga, man.
Right, or shooting another basket goal. Right. 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 Let me shoot another nigga. I got this, Master. Let me show you how much my life matters. I got this. Yeah, but these niggas about to get a rude awakening, boy. Especially these fake woke niggas. You know.
You teaching.
They been asking.
You teaching.
They been asking for an answer.
They still acting like they don't need us. They gonna go out and march and all that.
Right. Right. Bobby Hemming even told him that.
6, 7, 8.
Let's burn it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to take it a step further if I had time. I know you said the show's about to end soon.
Yeah, I can't tell you what they're doing at Blog Talk. I think my title must have did something. I don't know what they're doing. It's still going though.
Yeah, I wanted to speak on us as melanated people. I think we have to get back into the state of the power of death. Like how the ancient Egyptians, even Hinduism, spoke on how death is truly the goal here, is to die, basically. So I think life itself is the imprisonment. And I think once we let go of that and embrace death, not just a physical death, but a mental death, an emotional death, a spiritual death, I think then we can join that oneness, that flow of the universe. And by doing that, everything will naturally get back into order. I think that we have been too focused on life in general, not just how we perceive the matrix as far as working or having a job or consumerism. I think even dipping into how we perceive consciousness, the life of being conscious and being vegan and living in nature. All of that is ego. All of that is based off of individual life. It's still based off of preserving the life. I think once we step into death, then we can merge into oneness. And I think that's the key that we're missing. Because even with looking at, trying to become rulers again and, black people being supreme, that's natural, but it's not. It goes beyond just black people. Darkness is supreme. Oneness is supreme. The universe is supreme. And I think the only way that we can get back to that is through death.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if I got off topic with it, but just
no, that's on point.
That's what came to me.
No, that's totally on. That's why we believe, because spirituality, as long as the European has become our spirituality. So as long as we continue to believe in him and his world, then we are not going to transcend. We literally are trapped here. So it's going to take a death for us to.
Blog Talk Radio.